Welcome to TMSA Apex project presentation. So we have quite a few slides and I'm going to be very quick to try to cover everything. And we've sent a forum before the presentation. We got almost, the 50 questions, and then those questions are going to be addressed throughout the presentation. And if we do not cover them in the presentation, we have a couple, questions at the end of the presentation. We're going to try to answer them. This presentation is solely, about the project. Any questions about the curriculum, schedules, anything related to schools, please, go to website or contact the school, and then you can have information. And this school, TMSA Apex, K8 school, is going to be the exact replication of the existing school. So everything, including the curriculum, classroom size, and it's going to be basically based upon the TMSA education model. So there's not going to be anything different there in terms of, the education model and curriculum and etc. Okay, that being said, I'm just going to start. We can just say that right now it was a dream and it's becoming a reality. If you are with us for a long time, you know that more than 5 years now we are trying to find a new home for our high school. And the reason for that, we have a crowded wait list, more than 2,000 students. So we are very crowded in Cary campus. And the other reason is, our facilities are very limited to implement our high school program in full capacity. So we've tried different things. The first, we tried to get the Chesterbrook building across the street, and it didn't work out. Later on, we tried to raise the gymnasium roof and try to add some parkings out there, and work with Town of Cary and Park Association over there, and it didn't work out. And we brought a lot of, the options to our board, and in the meantime, we looked at buildings within the 5 miles, the radius of our current building, and it didn't work out. So it was late 2019 when the board realized that, the $3 million raising the roof of the gymnasium and additional site work in the current campus, then the opportunity came for an NC Access grant for new school, and we proposed our board, why don't we just, apply for a new charter and try to build a new campus from scratch? And then in the meantime, we can move our high school in that location too. Then after our board approved this, then we started working in 2020 February, we started working on the simultaneously NC Access grant and the K8 new charter application. And then, we turned our application, and in the meantime, we started to look for possible sites based on our needs. So we looked at 6 different sites in Cary and Apex area. Then we determined our current site that we are working right now. And then in the meantime, we communicated with DPI for relocation of the high school. We got, the amendment for relocating, and we, since it is more than 5 miles, so we got that approval in 22 December, and then our charter was approved in 2021 April. And then in the meantime, we posted out the developer contract, and then hired our financial advisor and started to work on the project. And it's been like since last January, we've been working diligently, and the project is coming through at this point. During that time, of course, this is a huge project, and then we really need somebody who can run the project for us. And Mr. Adam Alden who is a very well-known charter professional in the United States. And he is a math teacher originally, but when he was pursuing his PhD in artificial intelligence in UC California in Irvine, he left his PhD program and he started work on a charter project. And he founded, the California's Magnolia Public Schools. Now they have about 12 different schools around the states, 300 faculty, and more than 5,000 students. So he was a very well-seasoned charter school administrator, and he joined us as the Apex campus project manager. And he's continuously working with the U.S. Olympic math students, and he is still a current math coach over there. His address is over here. He is currently working with our high school team at Triangle and determining the needs for the facility and putting the program together for our students. And our developer, Legacy Impact Capital, has been with us since the beginning of the project. And then we hired the Lii Group. They are design build contractors. And I want to thank to Mr. Alden putting this presentation together with Mr. Mustafa, and also the preparing all the design, the Rick Luce from the Lii president. And actually, they were supposed to do this presentation, but they did the work, and I am getting the credit for it. So I'm going to be very quick. If you have any questions, you can ask them the questions. As we mentioned in the previously, the site is in over 64 and 751 towards Jordan Lake. It is here. This is about like 27-acre site, and we bought about 21 acre now. The other 6 acre across the 64 is under contract, and we're going to be buying it in the second phase of the project. The first phase is going to be TMSA Apex new school. Is going to be about 8-acre land, and then the other portion is going to be Triangle Math and Science Academy High School. We are not calling over there TMSA Apex or TMSA Cary because both Cary students and the Apex students are going to be going to high school. So we're calling that Triangle Math and Science Academy High School. So the project is the new campus, new school, TMSA Apex, and relocation of the high school, Triangle Math and Science Academy High School. So the phase 1 is going to be completely TMSA Apex K8. It's a totally new school called 93Y. It's a different local education agency in DPI respect. And the high school is going to be still Triangle Math and Science Academy, but 2 campuses, I mean, the K8 and the 912 campuses are going to be 9 miles apart. So about the financing, we've been working on the project, since January of this year. It's been almost 11 months right now. And our projections were, about the 16, 17 million dollar for phase 1, and then we were projecting about 18, 20 million dollar for phase 2. But unfortunately, with COVID and a lot of things, the material costs really rose up, and then the construction cost came about like $7 million more than expected. But we got lucky to get the BBB- S&P investment rating, and then instead of 30 years and then 4.5% projected financing, we ended up getting 40-year and then 3.4%. And the project cost for phase 1 is $25.1 million, and then the phase 2, which consists of the land and a little bit of a site work for high school, and it's going to be $3.8 million in this financing for the $28.9 million financing. So we are still working on the phase 2 numbers, and Mr. Alden has a lot of crazy ideas for the high school. He already started working with some parents and the teachers. He already, reached out the mayor of Apex and then the other, the businesses and other local entrepreneurs. And he has a lot of, the things that we cannot afford at this time. So Mr. Idol, Mr. Chelik, from the academic points and the financial points. So I am just kind of mediator between them. So I'm going to be giving the details, but in the meantime, you can contact Mr. Alden. This is his email, Alden TMSA PCS, and you can contact Erin Joyce, who is the development committee member from the central office, and then he can take this to the committee, and then you can be a part of the committee as well. And you can always reach out to our PR coordinator, Mr. Mustafa, if you have any kinds of idea how to support the projects. Now here, TMSA K8 Apex, this is the part that we are getting the permits, the next Wednesday, the 24th. Bonds are going to be, closed in next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, we will have the site permit in hand and we will have the money in our account. So we are going to be starting the project next Wednesday. And you can take notes, and we will have the groundbreaking ceremony tentatively scheduled for December 15, 3 o'clock. So we are inviting some, the valued the local officials and DPI and Apex mayor and all those people based on their project, the schedule we will announce. So we are going to be making the groundbreaking ceremony December 15. And here, Triangle Method and Science Academy High School project, this is the layout that we are working at this point. Once we determine the layout in here, this part, as I said, it's a done deal. And this is going to be the layout. Once we determine this, then all the rest here, the site plan is going to be, the finalized. We are proposing a football field or soccer football combination. And here in the first year, the high school students are going to be moving here, and then the portable building, 8 classroom portable building is going to be coming over here. And we still have some future projects in mind. We even didn't bring that to the board yet, that like a pre-K project, and then the alumni building over here. So this is going to be the looking of the TMSA Apex campus overall. And if you haven't seen the video at the beginning, so we just put together a 3D rendering how the K8 building is going to be. Let's watch this and then we'll continue. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So the TMSA Apex K8 building, it's as I said, it's 8-acre land. It's about like 72,000 square feet building. It's going to be accommodating K through 8, 9 grade level, 100 students per grade level. And we will have, the 25 kids per classroom through third through eighth grade, and kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, we will have 20 kids per classroom in 5 groups. So the plan is to open fall 22, and it's going to start with K5 and gradually is going to be growing one grade level each year until reaching the K8. Um, it's going to be, there's going to be a weighted lottery for educationally disadvantaged students, economically disadvantaged students, student with disabilities, ELL, and homeless migrant and immigrant students. So those are basically in the applications. If you are eligible any of those, you know, you can select from there. And one of the biggest question was the transportation. Yes, we will have free transportation based on the grant for this campus, and it'll be like similar to the Cary campus. There will be centralized bus hub locations, which is I'm gonna be showing in the upcoming slides. And different than from Cary campus, this building is gonna be offering free and reduced lunch program based on the grant requirements. And one of the biggest questions, and our board approved the policy that we proposed last Tuesday, Triangle's current elementary K through fourth graders will have an option to choose TMSA Apex for 22-23 without re-entering the lottery. You just have to be careful. This is only for the opening year. You know, this year as well. The next year, this option is not going to be there because it's going to be full. So those are the things, basically, the for TMSA Apex, the highlights. This is the first floor of the building. This is the entrance, this is the reception, and we will have the small grades over here. We have labs, and we have cafeteria. We have here the PE classroom and then the changing room. That was one of the questions came, and thank you very much. You know, it wasn't labeled the changing room for the PE classes, so it's going to be here. We have outdoor eating areas, you know, and we will have about like 50 classrooms and outdoor learning areas for the K8 building. And here, this is the second floor. We have upper grades, and then we have, you know, we have labs over here. Then in the portion of the second floor is going to be used for high school next year. So since we will have 600 students in the K8 building, K through 5, so there will be 300, you know, the space for 300 students over there. So in the second floor, we will have a different entrance with the different stairs from this side of the building. And also we are adding a portable building on the same side for 8 classrooms, and we will have additional labs with restrooms, waters over there. So this is going to be only for the first year for the high schoolers, and they're going to able to use the gymnasium, and then they're going to be able to use also the outdoor field sport facilities. And this is basically based on our current wait list. A here, A is the new campus. So this is basically, we put over here 6 different routes, you know, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A. This is, for instance, those 2 routes, they can stop by at the Triangle Cary campus and then continue over there. So based on the current heat map that we have applications in the past years, those are the possible bus routes that we are going to be providing for the Apex campus. Of course, we don't know anything about this side, you know, the Scarborough and Sanford side. If we have any applications from this side, since it's very close, there will certainly be some consideration on the other side too. At high school, the phase 2 we are currently working on the floor plan of the building, and it's going to be about 19 acres land that the high school campus is going to be seated on, and we will have, the 120,000 based on, what Mr. Alden proposed. It's 140,000, but now we are not able to afford under current circumstances 140,000. But if we can find anybody is adopting the gymnasium or adopting the outdoor, the sport facilities or adopting any labs, then we may be able to, afford, some of the things that like planetarium, the band rooms, and then some culinary classrooms and all that kind of things. The full, the extended programs. We will have 50 classroom, labs, gymnasium, outdoor field, and then we will have also our TMSA central offices incubated in the high school building. And this building is going to be ready in fall 2023. And one of the most important questions that we were having, what are we going to be? What is the situation for siblings? So we said in the first year, everybody is going to be given the option to choose either TMSA Carry or TMSA Apex for the elementary grades available at the Apex campus. But after that, so the Triangle High Schoolers, when they move to the other campus, they will have the siblings in the Cary campus. So those Cary campus students, when their elder brother or sisters move to the high school over there, they will have the sibling privileges for the Cary Apex campus. So when the elder brother and sisters, move to the Apex campus, they will have the sibling preferences for the Apex campus K8 building as well. So that is going to be basically solving a lot of the problems. The question here, what is going to happen when in the first year, because 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, they have to stay in the Cary campus, So for that, we are going to be just offering, based on the numbers, like the shuttle buses between the two campuses. Currently, what Mr. Alden is proposing with Mr. Idle and the high school teachers, department chairs, athletic departments. So this plan has everybody's input in it. So what we said, okay, what do you guys want? Everybody put their, the interest. Okay, this is what we want, and we put it together. Now it is 140,000 square feet. So today we discussed a little bit, we can shrink a little bit in the entrance area. We can make the gym a little bit smaller, because this gym has now 2 full court high school. It's a 2 full court high school, not just 1 court. So at the same time, when we have the curtain in place, that they can have 2 basketball games. So we are working on some value engineering and how can we make this without hurting our program and decreasing a little bit. We can take out, the conference center, we can make the cafeteria a little bit smaller. We can make a little bit outdoor areas, This is the discussion is going on, and we have to finalize this by mid-December. Then we can work on, on the site plan. This is the first floor, and we have a very huge, nice and high school, the high ceiling entrance over here. We will have maker spaces and really art classes over here. And in each, the floor, we have offices and we have labs, and this is basically the first floor. And then the second floor, similarly, the first floor, this is an open space down, and then this is going to be a closed space. This is the central office area, and we have here the offices and a village for college counselors. And and this is our third floor. Similarly, we have classrooms, labs, and then this area is basically empty right now, but for future references, we will put some greenhouse out there, up there, and then solar panels, planetariums, and based on the funding that we can find, we have dreams for futures as well. So, like I said, you may contact Mr. Eldon and Miss Joyce if you have any idea how you can support the project to make it better. So, how the transition is going to be the first year. I try to explain a little bit. Triangle's current 8, 9, 10, and 11th graders are going to be moving to new campus. Okay, they're going to be utilizing one portion of the K8 building, and we will have over there 8 portable classroom lab building temporarily just for the first year. And middle schools are going to be staying in the Cary campus. Current 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, they're going to be 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. They're going to be in the Cary campus. And the Cary campus is going to go back to 900 student capacity. And we're going to be giving the cafeteria and library back. And also our outdoor project, including cabinets, canopies, trail, and outdoor learning areas. We are hoping to finish them by spring of 22. So for next year, K8 building, Cary K8 campus is going to have its, the cafeteria, library, canopies out there, outdoor learning areas, and the trails. So it's not going to be really crowded and compact with lack of facilities. So they are not going to be as rich as the Apex campus. So we will try our best to make it, the valuable for our students. Elementary students, as I said, current kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders, they will have a chance to choose between the Apex and the Cary campus. And they need to fill out the intent to return form, and they have to, click, okay, I want to be in Apex or I want to be in Cary. So based on those requests, so we will be determining the lottery number for each campus for the next year. I hope this slide is going to be answering a lot of questions that we got from the parents. And in the second year, Triangle High School will move its own building. TMSA Apex will have 6th grade, and then they're going to be adding one more grade. And we will still have, there's some vacant spaces in the K8 building. And then there won't be any kinds of transfer from Cary to Apex, except the siblings of the high schoolers are moving to the Apex campus. If the 8th graders are moving to the Apex campus from Cary, so those students are going to be giving the sibling privileges to move to the Apex, the K6 buildings. So based on the numbers of the parents that they have students in 2 different campuses, we might put a shuttle bus between the 2 campuses for the first 3 years, and then that way they're not going to be in difficulty dropping off in 2 different campuses. And this is all I got, for the projects. It's pretty simple. And there is one thing that, the one question that I want to give: what is Plan B if the building is not going to be ready by July 22nd? So there is no Plan B, and there cannot be a Plan B, because it is not easy, because we are putting like almost 1,300 new students, registering, and there is no way to put them, if we have, I'm sorry, not 1,300, it's going to be 600, it's about 1,000 students, So our board, I don't know if you follow the board meetings, our board gave authority to buy steel, HVAC, the roof materials and the hardwares to our contractor in October meeting. So those have been already ordered, and they're going to be delivered by the end of January. This is the lead time materials can delay the project. And the other important portion was the funding, and we already sold our bonds, and then it's going to be closed next Wednesday. The money is going to be in the accounts, in the bank accounts. And the other portion was the permit, and the permit from the municipal authorities, which I got today an email stating that, you know, the annexation is going to be approved next, you know, the Tuesday, the 23rd. And on the 24th, we're going to be having our site plan permit in hand. Then we're going to start cleaning the trees and, you know, and grading. And then we are expecting to get our building construction permit by the second week of December. So everything is, you know, going the way that we planned so far. And our contractor and developer is very, very well aware of the situation. And in our construction contract, it states that July 15, 22 is the deliverable time, you know. And if the contractor is finishing the job prior to July 15, we put $5,000, you know, the reward for each day. If the contractor is finishing, for instance, the project at July 10, we're going to give the contractor $25,000. July 5th, it's going to be $50,000. But if the contractor is not delivering the building after July 29th, so he's going to be paying us back $5,000, which quite a reasonable, you know, the liquidated damages numbers in the construction business. So we have full faith to our developer and contractor and everything that we are working on the project. And then we cannot think of plan B at this point. And regardless of the situation, we're going to make it happen. That's the thing, you know, because if we cannot make it, so it's going to be a disaster. All those students that we, you know, we registered to our schools. Okay, those are some of the sample questions that, you know, we put together today afternoon. If a parent of two middle schoolers, one going 8th to 9th grade, and then the other sibling is in 6th or 7th, would both transfer to TMSA Apex, or would they have to go through regular lottery process? Will K8 children who have high school siblings in the current care school automatically be moved to the new K8? Will there be a choice? Like we said, now, if they are 6th and 7th graders, we said that those students in the first year, they are going to stay in the Cary campus, okay? And then if, for instance, if they have 8th or 9th graders going to the other campus, and then if they have smaller, you know, the children like kindergarten, first grade, they can choose automatically and go over there in the first year. But in the upcoming years, when they move over there, they are going to go to the sibling process. You know, they can, you know, they're going to apply through the lottery. If it is, for instance, 3rd grade, if there's any opening in that 3rd grade, then they're going to go. If there's no opening, they're going to be on the wait list, and then they are waiting their turn to get accepted if anyone is going to be you know, the withdrawing or anything like that. All right. New students who are not currently enrolled in our school, if their children are in the elementary school or middle school, do they apply for TMSA care for their middle school child and TMSA Apex for their elementary age child? So they can apply for the available grade levels in both TMSA elementary and the TMSA caring. And one thing that the Power School is not allowing to apply 2 different schools with 1 account. So if you want to apply for both Cary and Apex elementary school at this time, so you have to create 2 different accounts with 2 different emails. Mom can create 1 email, 1 account, apply TMSA Cary, and the one can create, you know, an email and apply the TMSA Apex. All right. If I apply to the Apex campus for my daughter and then to the carrier for my son, will the siblings priority still apply? Like we said, sibling priority will only apply if we transfer one student to the other campus. All right. So, I mean, it is, let's say, for instance, you have a student at TMSA Cary, all right, in the second grade. Let's say your student is, the transfer to the other school, to the, I'm sorry, I kind of mixed up. Yeah, for some reason, if your student is going to be moving to the other campus, so that is going to be, the automatically apply over there. And if you go to TMSA Apex from the lottery, then your student is going to be TMSA Apex students, and then automatically the other student is going to be a sibling too, So then that depends on the TMSA Cary for middle, and then TMSA Apex for elementary. Yes, this year, for instance, they're going to be, the sixth grade for, let's say, in TMSA Cary. And then if they get into TMSA Apex, the first grade, and then because each year they're adding sixth grade, seventh grade, so they will not be able to get, the transfer to the TMSA Apex until the high school. When the high school comes, they're going to be automatically go over there, and then they're going to be both in the same campus. So the question is not really clear to me, but that's how it works. For the K8 gym, will there be locker rooms? As I mentioned, yeah, there's going to be a changing room. It's not going to be a full locker room. There won't be any water or anything, but there is going to be a place for the kids to change. Will the TMSA Apex campus have bus transportation? I think we answered this with the sample possible bus routes. What if one child gets accepted, but the other one doesn't? So the sibling policy says that, you have to be at least registered for 1 year to be considered as siblings. So if one child gets accepted, you're not going to be given the sibling preference in the first year, at the year that the year the lottery took place. You can still be on your regular wait list, but you're not going to be given the sibling privileges. I live out of state. Can I apply? You can apply, but when the time comes, the August 10, 2022, when the school open, you have to be this North Carolina resident. Otherwise, you cannot attend the school because the state is not going to pay for it. Will you record this presentation in case, we can't make it? Yes. This is going to be, the recorded right now, and Mr. Mustafa is going to be posting this to our website. Will any of the teachers be transferred to the new campus? Yes, we will be giving the option to the teachers, and then also the policy, passed Tuesday. And if anybody is in the same pay category without recruitment process, they're going to be transferred to the other campus based on approval of the principals. And also superintendent is given the authority to move any personnel if needed in the other campuses. This is going to be happening after January, going to be decided. My understanding is that the high school is going from 16 classrooms to 8 classrooms in the new building for the first year. This is not true. Actually, it's going to be 8 classrooms, just the portable buildings, because K8 building is not going to have enough labs. So we are putting over there, the 8 classrooms, and four of those classrooms are going to be accessible to water, and then we can put some labs in there. And then on the other side, we will have about like 12 more classrooms, in lieu of, the middle school grade. So the basically the high school is going up from 16 to 20 classrooms in the first year. And then after that, they're going to have 50 classrooms. When is high school moving and instructions start at the new location? The high school is going to be moving, the August 22, and then they're going to start at the same time, the instruction over there. Has hiring started for teachers? Not yet. That's going to be starting after January. And there's a huge shortage in the county. We know that. How can we be sure hiring good talent? And then we're going to be advertising, and then we will be, making our best, the increasing the salaries and making the environment better, learning and teaching environment, and then to attract, the good and quality teachers to our schools, not just for this campus, but all of our, the campuses. Okay, this is all I have. I want to thank you, all of you, for your support and, your contributions. And I want to thank to our project manager, Mr. Alden. I want to thank, Mr. Sowell, our developer. And I want to thank also our designer and the contractor, the Rick Lewis from Lii Group. Okay, Mr. Mustafa, do we have any questions in Q&A that and I can answer?
Let's go over real quick. Again, what are the actual plans in case the building isn't ready for high school to move in? You already replied that we're going to make it. We don't have a plan B.
Yeah, for for high school, the portable building, the permit is not a huge issue. We have portion of the site already in the high school site already, in there approved. We can even put it there. So we have to make sure that it's going to be happening, because there cannot be a temporary plan for this project.
Another question, Mr. Ben. Next year, I will have one child at high school, middle school, and elementary school. How can we manage that if they're not going all to the same building?
Like I said, if they have one elementary, the two of the kids can go to the same campus, and then one student has to go. If they chose to stay in Cary Elementary and Middle, high school is going to be going to the Apex, or they can choose the elementary and the high school go to the Apex, but no matter what, the middle school has to stay in Cary. So the only solution for that, if they're going to be dropping by, the Cary campus, or we have to look at the numbers, which campus is going to be, the closer, or if they're going to be taking the buses, for instance, the two of the routes that we have shown, they can stop by the Cary campus, drop the kids, and then they can continue to the other campus. So we have to look at some individual cases.
Sure.
It can be resolved with the shuttle buses, or it can be resolved in, in different ways. I can't say anything at this point without seeing any numbers.
Okay. The other questions, a little bit detailed about the curriculum, start and drop off times, those kind of questions. Our parents can always call the schools and talk to the admins about that. So I think you have pretty much covered every question so far, sir.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Please do not hesitate to contact us with any ideas. It can be crazy idea. It can be anything that to support the project, to make it better. We are here to listen, and all feedback are welcome. Thank you very much.